Welcome back, guys, to another season of The Shrine. It's been a long sabbatical since we recorded one of these, but we are officially back. Guys, how has your lockdown been? You didn't introduce yourself.
You said D.
Oh, sorry. We are decolonizing.
Yes.
We are decolonizing.
I like this new decolonization efforts.
But first, introduce yourself in your uncolonized African names.
Magician.
That you only have one name.
Magician.
Chihugu.
What's your issue?
That's also your name. I see you using it.
Yes, but
How has been your lockdown?
it's been busy.
Mm.
You go to work Monday to Saturday. Come back.
Which
Serving
sector is
the
that in?
Huh?
Which sector are you in?
Distribution and payments. Serving this multinational of ours.
I see. Introduce yourself. By the way, after reading so many of your comments and claiming that we are Emmanuel, we've decided to be diverse and invite a female friend of ours. Introduce yourself.
I'm Bahesi Jazmin. My lockdown was busy but not busy.
What do you people do that even in lockdown you are
Like, because for you in your eyes you're seeing nothing is moving, but somewhere down there you're growing every day. Somehow you're growing every day. Whether it's managing to stay sane mentally, whether it's just managing to choose not to be angry or choose peace over conspiracy theories. That's good. That's good.
This is
So,
violence. But here we like violence. This genocide.
I don't think you speak for all of us.
I speak for all of us, but we're shy.
Also, now was your introduce yourself again.
I'm called OSA, Oswan. My lockdown was quite alright, really. I've not been...
These were me and him were idle. Totally nothing.
Not necessarily.
But a few things, by
I
the
was
way.
a bit busy.
Even me, I worked out. You can see the arms.
But me, I think you can see my choice of attire today. The goal was to show off my new acquired muscles.
Is this what she's been telling you? She's collecting your money on rice.
I think let's not disrespect the people who actually put in work by calling these muscles. So, while we were in the lockdown and after the 42 days, there was a story that made rounds on social media, and there's a lot of reaction from all corners of the world. A renowned TV presenter who once famously carved J. Cole. Chihugu is a J. Cole stan. How did that make you feel, by the way?
Man, I felt like if they have to come to J. Cole, I should clearly die with my crush.
Oh, you on that
No,
guy?
this is one of the people who are tremendously hurt.
I was happy with this behalf.
Success of Bwana Kabula.
I see. So she famously carved J. Cole. I don't know. Never got into the bottom of that story, but news made rounds that her husband, they got married, right?
yeah.
His husband, he was allegedly cheating on her with a certain French embassy worker. Doesn't he speak French, by the way?
Bonjour, mademoiselle.
That's good, baby. Bonjour.
That's
That's the one I know. Yeah.
that's
Comment
one
ça va?
growing. I think listening to a few Awilo songs does not qualify you to be a French speaker. I'll take it that no one here speaks French, but yeah, he was caught with the French embassy work, and there's a lot of reaction. Oh, she's married
Yeah.
to a pastor, is it?
No.
Someone, okay,
He's a very-
clergyman of sorts.
He's a very, very religious fellow.
I see. So I saw a lot of reaction. Kampala men will embarrass you if they can cheat on Flavia. What of you, Humble Dean's girlfriend? But anyway, what was your take on that, Chief? First of all, that whole saga. Just
I take it, generally. I mean, look, it goes with the territory, right? Some things that Job has said. You've met this young man, you've friend-zoned him for 10 years, he has been your friend, he has been seen and unattached, and of course he was not a virgin in his 10 years, really. It came with the territory, he's famous, he looks better than both of you. So really, when you finally tie the knot, right? Don't expect him to flip the switch and become an angel for you overnight. That is asking too much. In my opinion.
In your opinion.
Yes.
What did you think, Hassan?
I think that this was the typical Ugandan social media crowd reaction. Always seeking to be offended. Okay, even if cheating on someone's partner is a bad thing, I'm not saying it's a very good thing. Even if it's a bad thing, really, how does it affect you Kenny now? Why should you get annoyed? I think that maybe if anyone was entitled to be angry, maybe it should be Flavia herself. But I never had her noise anyway. So the only person who had the right to be angry, we didn't see her getting angry.
The so-called social media in-laws.
Yeah.
These days they are hard more than
they're very overzealous, these individuals, and I discourage that kind of hooliganism. That is a social media.
Jasmine, what did you take on? What was your take on that whole saga?
On that whole saga? So, I feel like if you throw yourself if you're in the spotlight, expect this thing. Expect your things to be publicized. Let me tell you, Monday morning, everybody was waiting for what Flavia was going to say.
True.
Everybody was expected. But Flavia said something. There's room for mercy. There is nobody in this world who is perfect.
Blessed are those who forgive.
Hallelujah.
It doesn't excuse the act.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. However, that is their private matter. I have no right to sit here and speak because me in my life today, there are some people I've not made happy. If I imagine if my parents sat down and had a discussion about me, I don't think some of it would be good. So I have no right to sit here and judge other people for what they have done. Call a spade, but at the end of the day, our Lord has forgiven him. For you, who are you to go on prologuing and dragging a guy through the mud? However, it gave his show views.
True.
I had for the first time they were trending.
Yes.
For the first time.
Afterwards,
No,
but there was a silver line.
But I also like that we have Flavia handled it. She really came Monday morning. I had the best weekend because I think she even found out way before the social media, and she had already dealt with it in her
business
own.
it is actually.
Yeah, she dealt with it as a wife. I beg, let's move on. They've somewhere Uganda 9 billion has been,
swindled.
Yeah, people are swindling public money, but
as we are choosing
that somebody
to
had
focus.
sex. That's our problem as a country.
Also, maybe that's people's way of coping with what's happening in Uganda. Maybe I figured that this is people's way of venting out what they are really feeling in their everyday lives.
But
what some of these social media in-laws, when they see Kabula, they see their own boyfriend. They think that since they can't shout at their boyfriend, at least let them shout at Kabula.
But it is an announcement and statement, right? They said that the sense of humor that is characteristic of Ugandans may not actually be a sense of humor. It may be a coping mechanism.
The curious case of laugh at my pain.
It's possible that
it's a way of coping.
So it's possible that even how we are looking at Kabula.
There's a refrain that I kept on seeing again and again. Men will embarrass you. Men will embarrass you. And I'm thinking, he was cheating with a woman first of all. Who is also married to a clergyman, as you clarified. You understand? So isn't he embarrassed, like, to his flow?
Of course.
They will say.
There's a tweet that I saw that sums up your particular answer. By Mwami Lo, she said, "Para men, para women."
So I strongly believe men and women deserve each other. Because it's not only in Kampala, it's not only in Uganda. Guys, let's be real.
It is a global
Let's
thing.
be real.
It's a global phenomenon.
I would like, and also, it's a call for people to stop labeling people. trash, dogs, whatever. That is so not necessary. Everybody fails in this life. You may not be cheating, but man, you may be emotionally abusing this person to a point where they don't have confidence in their lives. That Flavia is having confidence in her life. Karura came, did his show, moved on. Like, it's only the rest of the world that has not moved on. So, like I said, men and women, it's just a personality thing. I feel like it's a personality thing. There are people who have kept it together, we thank the Lord. There are people who have not kept it together, still we thank the Lord because he's still good. 1, 2. If the other person has chosen to forgive, it's a wrap.
Jazmin, I noticed that you keep on thanking the Lord. I don't know if you know the individual there. But that will be a topic for another.
Some of your co-panelists, God bless heaven.
But that will be a topic for another day. We shall call you on the religion one also. Yeah, today we are today we are here for the sake of that discussion, that saga, and also in that whole fracas came a one Shiba Karunji. Blasting and feeling more bereaved, crying more than the bereaved. Yeah, she cried more than the bereaved, and to what end she was left.
I once sat in a meeting. So the chairman of the board, he has done business, he has worked in banks before. So he has the credentials, right? When he's accomplished, he has the credentials for the field we are operating. And so he was, I was telling him about advice I got from someone in a regulator's office somewhere. And he asked me a question that is applicable to this situation. He asked me, the chap giving you the advice, has he ever been in your position? Taking what he has ever. And then he asked me, so why are you taking his advice? That is armchair psychology. The man has never been there. He also hears rumors. He reads on Facebook like you. And he comes and gives you a comment. Do you not think you're wasting your time and his by taking him seriously? And I told, but you know, these are the regulators. They have seen guys. And you know, the chairman of Bible told us there's a difference between seeing something happen, right, and doing it for yourself. Those are not the same thing. So, even in the case of Shiba Karon, there's a difference between offering your humble advice from the stands. Even
from the streets.
From the streets, when you see Arsenal kicking the other side, like, Ole out! And yet you don't know what the man is fighting with inside there.
The Nigerians have a saying that I like to quote this. I really liked it. They say, if it is, do
somebody.
If it's easy, you do it. If you're claiming it's easy, you do it.
But I was really shocked because we never learn. We never learn from all this hula baloo. I remember some years back, I don't know if you remember that incident. So, as I was saying, all this, we don't learn because a few years back, if you guys recall, we were chilling on social media one day and pictures appeared of a bruised and battered Leila Kayondo saying she had been beaten by her then sponsor. I don't know if they're still together. Bana Eskem, yes. And everyone flooded. What's wrong with rich men? They think because they have money they own people's bodies, people's daughters. She made a very heart-moving plea. All the right words were in the posts. I cannot continue suffering like this. I'm being abused. Who can I run to?
Those of Pastor Sempa.
Everyone. Yeah, everyone should.
Yes, come and report.
All those guys were someone.
It almost became a national issue to be debated in Parliament. But
that's how you know our Parliament is useless.
Let's not go there. That's another episode.
What's the difference from another episode?
So the next, I was shocked. Like, I think even 2 weeks didn't pass. 2 weeks didn't elapse. They called for the witness, like who is going to stand surety for Mbuga and what. She came to court and said he has never ever beaten me. He loves me so much.
But you made the statement saying that you were
Yes, like
no,
it
I
was
was lying. I
yeah,
was confused.
and even showed like the picture where you could see her face
So
was
all the
swollen
guys who
inside.
had stood up for her, that's what
Imagine.
Milano Kaima were left with egg on face.
Yes.
They had
No, but you say there's a saying. Right? There's an African saying, I've forgotten the exact word. It says, when you see a couple fighting, yeah? Unless someone is on the verge of dying,
please don't interrupt.
please don't
No,
interrupt.
it is,
They can both
it
decide
is,
to beat you.
Yeah,
it is in Uganda it's Mugagala na Tosa Chicho.
I
Yeah,
agree.
maybe.
I agree. It is none of your business. I mean, I am a long-term advocate of what? Of minding your business and drinking water. So when you see that,
Is that water?
This one, okay, there's some water content in it.
It looks like water, but it isn't.
It's colorful water. Yeah, it's colorful water.
So ultimately, drink water, mind your business. If it is not, there's no need to try to be more Catholic than the Pope.
Yeah, just leave it.
Yeah, you cannot solve everybody's problem. If Chikobu is being beaten by the girlfriend, you wait for him to come and complain, then maybe you can help him from there.
And even when I complain, don't get involved. Tomorrow when I go back.
Most likely.
Yeah, I'll come back and I'll say Osman is a hater. He doesn't want our happiness.
So
Some-
what I resorted to doing was there's this thing I do where when probably I'm fighting with someone, I first look at my own self and how I feel that other person and how we are failing to interact. So most times when people come out of a fight, they don't want to hear that they are wrong, right?
Yeah.
So when you tell them, but for you, what have you done? I promise you, they will shut that conversation. You will not go down that road with that person. You'll just be like, okay, have some water.
Drink water and mind your
Yeah,
business.
no, like, can I give you some food? Oh, you're crying. Come, it's here, the shoulder. Cry. Do you want to tear a pillow? Please, it's there. Do you want to break some glasses? It's fine. Bring money, we buy the glasses, you break them. You understand? Give them space to vent if must be. As a chick, I don't know, guys will just look at each other like, man, it's cool, but
No, kwesiza weka mkono. Nakugulile chipia.
Trying to fureka naye robali. Chukue tugende.
so it doesn't have to be about minding your own business, but watch
No, you
how
can be
you
concerned.
help
I believe
the
that
person.
concern is a good thing.
Yeah.
You can be concerned and you can offer
There's
help in so many ways, except trying to fight the battle for this person.
Coming
But
out
yeah.
to condemn the other
I-
person.
Yeah.
I think
That
what
is
guys
the
have forgotten,
longest
or what guys tend to forget in that moment, right? Is that human relationships are complicated. Because we are essentially complicated, right? On Monday, you want to hang your mother. On Tuesday, she is the most wonderful woman I've ever met in your life.
On Tuesday, you
My
remember
boy.
suspected of being a witch.
Like, this is the cycle, right?
My boy
Yeah,
told me
true.
that his grandmother was these women who believe in bewitching the husband. So she bewitched the husband to only love her. But the man was violent in nature. So he would beat her and like family members would come to separate. Then in the morning we would hear her like, of course there's no tita.
Making the ones of
No, please. no. Please, this show is it's
But I
PG.
didn't know Chihubu. You should not demonstrate. You
Please.
can make a difference, but please don't demonstrate.
Right,
No,
she was singing,
anyway.
she was singing
No,
the
she was-
sweet
they would-
midnight choirs.
No, they would hear her in the shower, singing in the shower. There's that famous song, I don't know if you guys know.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's by a Frigo band. Monde Kembere, no.
Yeah.
And now the relatives who had come to fight her were very angry. They were very angry. But this is the man who was beating her.
Yes, but you
Yes,
said
Monde
this is the
Ke-
truth, right? And this is. I feel like this is a direct result of people failing to accept what we actually are as humans, right? The shit that turns us on, and I've seen this happen very many times, both men and women, right? The shit that turns you on about a babe, or the shit that turns a babe on about a guy, right? Is not healthy shit. You've seen rainbows, doves are singing in the air, butterflies are flying, right? It's usually some messed up shit, right? Not usually. Okay, not messed up. Usually, but not messed up in the sense of it's truly tragic. It's usually there's a break somewhere, right, between what romance actually is, right, and what romance is portrayed about, right? Because when you say I am going to fall in love with this person, right, the truth of the matter is, as sure as a follow's night, you are not looking for peace. You are looking for an adventure, and adventure has never been peaceful. Listen, no. Let me say this.
It's true.
Let me say this,
Okay,
right?
please finish.
Pick up any fiction or adventure novel, right? The journey is usually broken into a couple of stages, right? The hero is there, innocent and
boy meets girl.
Yeah? Anyway, both, by the way, there are parallels between a romance novel, right, and an adventure story, right? Boy meets girl, right? Boy ignorant in his own world, blissful, life is good. Adventure side, right? You're cooling, maybe your life is what it is, there's nothing.
Riding on the horse in the field.
Even if you take Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings, right? Yeah. Bilbo Baggins, you're in your bargain, right? You're in your Cahill. Life is life, right? It's not exciting, it's just life, right? Gandalf knocks on your door, right? Tells you, I'm taking you on an adventure, you may not come back from. Those are the words Gandalf told Bilbo Baggins. There's an adventure, you may not come back from it. Boy meets girl, she tells you, baby, I'm not sure how you come out, but
I have something to show you.
Yeah, but together to side, right? In both cases, right? Whether romance novel or fantasy adventure, right? You sit and you're like,
the thrill of the unknown.
Yeah, like together to we see what's the other side. You go without Smaug, you pick a forbidden ring, right? Now here on this side of boy meets girl, she takes you, she gives you mad chow, she makes your emotions feel a certain type of way, like something changes about it, there's a challenge, and then you reach the actual meat of the story, right? Where now you're fighting the villain, you're overcoming challenges, you're overcoming obstacles, you have to become a better version of yourself, right? Same here. She finds, the whirlwind is over, you've dumped yourselves, there's a fight somewhere, shit is not going right, he has lied to you, what. There are those parallels, right? And then the last stage is, okay, fine, let's say you've gotten through all that you've conquered, right?
Live happily ever after.
No, there's no happily ever after. Actually, if you notice carefully, right?
No, I'm saying in the romance.
If you notice, even in romance, if you notice, right, for both romance and adventure, except that part of the story has been disguised under happily ever after, right? What happens is not actually happily ever after, because now you've come back home.
But
right?
just
hold on.
Yes.
I'm getting
and also we have.
I'm getting to it, right? Now you've come back home from this epic journey, right? This life-changing journey has made you realize parts of yourself you did not see before. You've gone to depths of your soul that you've not seen before, right? In Lord of the Rings, they took them to the Undying Lands, right? Where they're its own challenges, right? They just don't tell you what happens in the Undying Lands unless you read the rest of Tolkien's books, right? Outside the main three trilogy. And even in Happily Ever After, they don't show you the part of, Happily Ever After is not Happily Ever After, right? Because now you as the hero, or you as the lover, right? You've come from this great adventure. And now you need to learn to live with this person, right? Because not every day will be an adventure. But now you need to live with this person, understanding what you know from what you've been through, right? And this boils back into monogamy, right? The shit that attracted you to this person, the things that attracted you to this person, right, were exciting. It was an adventure, right? But at the end of the day, after the adventure, because the adventure has to close, right? Eventually it has to come to an end, right? You need to learn to live with this person.
The roller coaster has to stop and you go.
Yeah, and you have to get off and go home. But now you need to learn to live with this person away from the roller coaster and be like, the roller coaster brought us together. What are we doing after the roller coaster, right? And the moment you felt that, especially in a monogamous setting, right, both parties are fully entitled to get back onto that roller coaster. For the simple reason that
find someone else.
No, not to find someone else, right?
For the thrill.
Not for the thrill even. You have failed to complete the journey. And they cannot start this journey now halfway with someone else. They have to go back to the beginning, right? And this is where I say all relationships are about. No, relationships are not work. You've just failed how to connect from the initial, I've seen you, I've liked you, I've tested you, I've had all this mad, eating ourselves, we've done all this shit, we've gone on all these dates, left, right, center, and now we have to settle into life as it actually is.
Boring,
right? What are we doing that's different? Do you really think a guy, in the case of say Lord of the Rings, that has gone and slain dragons and conquered the greatest evil on earth, is going to sit down and retire right for grandkids? Do you really think it's going to
He'll seek out more battles to fight.
Yeah, he has to seek them out.
And
do you really think that someone that she has seen you, be this type of person, or you've seen her be this type of person, and all this?
So you're saying that this thing is inevitable?
It's not inevitable, right? You just need to be aware of the phase of the journey you're in. Right?
So, judging from that, which phase of the journey do you think Flavia and Kabura were in when this
It's
Is
I
it for
can't
us
say
to
it's-
judge?
No, I'm just asking. Just
I
in the
can't
romance, in the parallel
You
of
seem
the
to be an
romance
expert
novel.
on romance.
Mm.
No, I'm
Which
not
is a funny thing because we say
I'm not an
we say
expert on romance.
he has not been there.
Mm.
How is he giving advice
no.
to those who have been there?
Actually, also now,
I'm not
we're
an
also quite
expert
clear.
on romance,
Now for
right?
you.
And I'm not claiming to be an
As a
expert
man,
on romance, right?
Who has been
But
single all his life?
I've been single my life, but I am an expert on writing, right? And I know how to structure, right, a good story. And one of the things structuring a story teaches you is that people live their lives according to stories. Actually, when people think of stories or fiction, right, I think it's the term fiction is a misnomer, right? They think that this is something that will never happen. No, fiction is simply an exaggeration of the truth, right? So if you say that today I'm not a Christian, okay, and these are my reasons X, Y, Z. There is, if you're to map your journey onto, say, pick the Matrix as a movie, right? Between when Neo realizes he's in the Matrix and he decides he's trying to exit the Matrix, right? You will see the similarities between you, who is saying, I don't think being a Christian in this tradition I've been raised is the right thing for me, right? And Neo coming to the realization that I'm in a Matrix. There'll be overlaps. There are general themes that exist, right? Between your story and all those other stories.
You're taking us into a rabbit hole.
No, okay.
Taking us into a rabbit
So
hole.
what I'm saying
You're
is,
taking us into a
right?
rabbit hole.
Much as I'm not an expert on romance, right? I do take fascination, right, and understanding in how stories work, how stories play out.
You were going into the path that I wanted us to go. Monogamy.
Right. So
Monogamy.
hold on. Now, if you take the path of monogamy, here's the truth, right? You meet your partner, go and meet girl, right? And this is where most people lose the plot, right? Like there is that energy and there's that excitement, right? That keeps you focused on one person. You may consider it monogamy. It is not monogamy. It is simply you have met a person, right? Their story and your story fit. Okay? And so you're fixated on this person. It's really not monogamy that I've chosen this person, I'm going to live and die with them because it's what I want. No, the stories are just synced at that point in time, right? So when the entire roller coaster of things ends, at the end, right? And this is where the monogamy breaks apart, right? Can you write another story together, right? If you can't, this monogamy is going to go away. Not because they're bad people, right? Not because you're a bad person, not because you're lacking something, but because the simple truth of the matter is we are all here to write a story. So if this monogamy goes away, don't start crying for us and men are trash, Kampala men. No, calm down, all right? Understand that you are boring, or the sinking of the stories, right, ended, right? People have to go back and find the story because everyone is just ultimately trying to write their own story.
Jasmine, what do you think about that? His take on monogamy. What's your take on it? What's your take? Is it, do you believe in it?
It's too much. Honestly, it's too much. Reason being, man, I love storytelling. But I have come to understand, for instance, when you're going to teach people and you take them down a rabbit hole, you've lost them. You understand? So at the end of the day, me, I'm a person I'm a complex person who likes to simplify things. Because at the end of the day, it's simple. I take responsibility for my actions. If I have decided to go out and cheat, there are negative consequences. It's not a good thing. I can never excuse it, whether the guy is boring or not. Let me let him go again. There, he finds another story with someone else. That's if we are not yet married. However, let's say we are married, and now we are in a monogamous marriage. You've made vows. You've made vows. As the two of you, you've made vows. Remember those vows. If, for instance, you stray, one person strays away, I'm going to go back to the story. In every story, even the hero strays away. Even the hero, every story, there's no story where the hero is perfect. Okay, apart from Steven Seagal, who never gets never gets he leaves the thing unscratched. Wait, I'm telling you.
Seagal eats only rice and chicken. I go to gym 6 times a week. That's right.
So, that's a little bit unrealistic. In this world we live in, people make mistakes every day. The thing is, are you going to come back home? Are you going to come back home? There's an anchor that has to told you, if that anchor is not there, then you probably didn't have a relationship. You are in a lustful situationship. Also, I would like us to differentiate. I would like us to differentiate the two, because when you're talking about monogamy, let us talk about people that are married. Let's not talk about people that are in a lustful relationship. There are people who are engaged, they are getting to that bridge. But when you're talking about monogamous, first of all, it has to be something, a concept that you've grasped as a person. You've understood it. You have seen this is the way I want to go. If it's not the way you want to go, people already know most times, honestly. That's why most women will come to you and be like, ah man, ish. If you're the first wife and you don't want to accept the second wife, is like, I beg, pack your bags. The family can tell you pack your bags and boom. So it's a concept that first of all, before you've even found a person, it's something that is a goal in your mind. I understand what he says, that now you've synced, but I tell you, you can sync on all those levels, guy. You've not had the conversation of monogamy and polygamy. Then you reach there and he's telling you, so my first wife, even most times people don't realize that there's another wife. There's also that cause. The thing is, there's a lot of scenarios.
Along the way.
I wish I had met you first. That's the thing. He's always telling girls.
I wish I had met you first.
So
my wife, I just married her because
the family put me on pressure.
8 months later, you see a post, happy birthday, my wife. No one can ever replace you. Guy, you're there as a side chick. What are you doing? No, I beg. Hey. So even he blocks you for that day when he posts it, then you see it on somebody else's status.
Also, as she's concluding, I want you to jump in straight away because our time is also not on our side.
Yeah. So, as when you talk about monogamy, it's a thing that has come from far. Background. This, I'm putting on glasses. Everybody has a lens through which they see life. I'm a Christian, non-Christian, Hindu. Yeah. See, at a Hindu wedding, the bride died, the sister married the guy immediately. Wow. Immediately. There was no time for, let's go and bury you. No. They burnt the body, came, the guy's married on the same day. You understand it? So they
walked around the sacred flame.
Yeah. So I feel like that is personal experience, personal choice, family background, many things come into play as to how we view life. Yeah, I'm short-sighted. Oh, hey, I'm not going to see what's far away, so I'm probably going to make a wrong decision because I'm short-sighted. And that's in life. If you're going to choose to be short-sighted and see the nearness of having sex with somebody, and yet somebody's home waiting for you, prepared food, hey, there are consequences that will come into you smashing into a wall. Cartoons like to us that here you'll get a thing and it will go back. You'll probably get a concussion if you hit it so hard. You understand? So, personally, I feel like monogamy is a personal choice. You cannot force it on anyone else. It's not advisable to try to force people. If someone comes to you asking you questions about how to go about it, or if you've not been there, I beg, just refer them to somebody who has. For instance, one guy there is the only person I believe in this room at the moment I can go and ask. So what's up? Wagwan. Wait, what's this really about?
Oswan, it's not you. I see you're already assuming the position.
For those who are curious, our cameraman is married.
You get it? So I've learned to also talk to the divorced. See the holes that they fell into. You could miss a hole just by someone telling you. You could miss a hole just by somebody telling you. I don't know how many times I've been going home at certain times. Lord forgive me. Like from work or somewhere, and somebody hunks, again there is a whole thing, so you pass the side and you avoid trouble. Talk to those who have failed. Talk to those who have passed in this thing. But at the end of the day, keep your goal in mind. What goal are you looking at? If you've reached somewhere and this person is talking about things that don't rhyme with you, listen and move on. Let it come through one ear and get out the other. We are so perfect at that, guys. We do not like to tolerate things that shake. Yes. If it's something you truly believe in and you believe it's right for you, go ahead. Don't listen to naysayers. Because everybody has something bad to say about something. I love chicken farming. That guy lost all his chickens. Imagine the experience he's going to tell me. But somebody who is getting 1 million shillings per day from their farm will have a different testimony to tell me. So be careful. That's all I can say.
I see. This one. What do you think of monogamy?
I want to start with a disclaimer. The views I'll share are not based on personal experiences. And my information on the subject from us might not be the most reliable. However, I think I've seen enough to form an opinion.
Differently.
That being said, I think the most important principle about this romance and romantic relationships is there is no one size fits all. I think most things in humanity.
Yeah.
That is why I think it's even futile for us to discuss some general principles of relationships. Because I think that each relationship, how it goes forward or backwards depends really on the peculiar circumstances of which case. The two parties involved, what are their opinions on different things and how they chose to, what they consider nice.
But this is what the church says, monogamy. For you, because these are the rules that are there. There is no debate.
Now, on question monogamy, for me, I don't think that really the church is always right about everything. In fact, I think that they are wrong about so many things. So I will not. But that is not the discussion for today. Monogamy, I think, has largely been accepted in public. Most people, you find a random man on the street and ask him, "Do you believe in monogamy? Is it a good thing?" They say, "Yes, I strongly stand by this principle."
6 wives.
But from there, he could be on his way from wife number 2 to wife number 3. But he will tell you, monogamy. That is why we've met our Ntagari. I think you saw one Ntagari the other time. The man, the man was caught, but I'm sure his sheep have had different stories. People came up with articles that the man wrote in 2013 about the importance of staying faithful, and he had a very condescending attitude towards the other people who were who had fallen short of the glory of God.
Your side.
So, for me, I don't think that it's natural or unnatural monogamy in itself. However, it's a matter of choice, really. And I think that you must make an informed decision. But even this informed decision, there's no harm in learning from the history. Somebody once said that if we learn anything from history, it is that we don't learn the lessons that teaches us. Grown up, you've been seeing, you've been cheating on your mother, you've been cheating on your auntie. Even your father has also been maybe getting cheated on. But for you, think that somehow you're special. You think that no, I mean, I will not cheat on me.
that is where I derive the question from. Like with all this
rampant cheating. I think that human beings are monogamous verbally. Verbally, but in practice, these guys are largely
the fact of the show.
They are largely, I don't know, polygamous is not the correct word. I think polygamous assumes that, right?
Yeah.
A man has many
wives. So people are just unfaithful.
Yes, maybe
people
not.
are just unfaithful.
No, they are promiscuous.
Promiscuous.
I think
so I believe.
But one of the things
based on what you say.
Yes, across the thing is, all these marriages, most you will find promiscuity on both sides. It's common. It's more common than the people who actually stay true to the monogamous. And I'm not saying they're not there who do. They're there. Those people are there who. I've heard some rumors that some people stay with only one woman and one man.
You cannot confirm the rumors.
Yes, but I've heard. And you need those people probably there.
There is something
but
everyone.
So from the history, right? The history of enforced state monogamy, right? When you go and get married and the church registers, or the state rather registers your marriage through the church, began in the Roman times. And it began for one very simple reason, right? So back then, and this goes back to human sexual selection, right? If you look at it in other great apes, where if you take an orangutan or a silverback, right? You'll find 1 or 2 big men, right? With like 30 women around them, right? Because human female sexual selection in our evolutionary history was designed to target the very best man possible for her position, genetically and socialized, right? So in Rome, they would find like one guy who has become a senator, or one guy who has won like 30 battles, his holding like 200
Spartacus.
women. Yeah, he's
I
holding.
would like actually to
No, let me
interject
finish.
with-
He's
You're
holding like
interjecting a
200.
bit.
Okay,
He's
no,
holding,
finish.
no, let me finish. He's holding like 200 women, right?
Mm.
And these women are like, this is the guy. I am dying one. If me as me, I come and I present my CV, I've never worked out in my life. I've been drinking beer, my pot is the other end, I have no hair, I'm losing hair. You should say no, I don't want. But the Romans realized that the men that were not getting sexually active, right, and were unable to start families, had absolutely nothing to lose. When a random guy walked up to them and said, maybe, guy, if we overthrow these charts, and we also establish our own, eh? And we also, the Spartacus that is holding 200, now we're like 50. The two it out, I guess like yes. So the Romans enforced state-mandated monogamy, right? Because it was in their own political interests, right? At least you now make like a honey also one is getting laid, right?
That example is dangerous.
Okay. Say a honey man X is getting laid.
You call him Servili.
A honey ceremony X is getting laid and is in a happy relationship, right? And he has like 2-3 kids, right? He has too much to lose that if I come to him and tell him, but wait, if we overthrow the government, Wadi, but we also get some of those 200 women, right? So the Romans saw this happening and said, no, let us enforce, and that is why you find to date.
So, from what I can gather from everyone's thing, we need to modify it a bit. We need to modify
I think we need to
monogamy
remove
a
the
bit.
general element and allow each two parties to set their own ground rules.
So,
yes.
let me, can I say something
And
about
now,
that? Can I say
I would
something
like to-
about that before you go far?
Okay.
You see, monogamy, I would not agree with that for one reason. Monogamy is monogamy. Do not remove it.
No, it's not saying
The first
remove.
okay, do not disregard it or don't remove that general selection. And me, I'm going to put it in one instant, like one thing, and you can bring history, you can bring everything, but the minute you started sleeping with more than enough people, it's not going to stop. That is why those men
That is true.
continue go on. 200 women are not enough, they have to go for 1,000. King David and King Solomon, who knew God, were not. That's why the Bible tells us not to be overly confident. That's why I feel like in Tagali, you cannot come out and be condescending openly towards people. I mean, if you are, ideally, you are a church leader, so these people are supposed to come to you trusting you, not to judge. First and foremost, before the person even comes down to the people, you're the person as a leader who is not supposed to judge. And this is just a general leader. If you're going to be a good leader, it's not good to point out the sins of people. It's not. It has never been a good thing, because when you get too overly confident, most times you will fall to that same thing. Let me tell you, pride is such a
But someone once said
Yeah.
Solomon had 1,000 women and only 9 kids.
you get.
Do with that information.
The
Yeah.
minute you start that, monogamy for me, ideally, personally, now me, I'm going down to a personal experience, where in the past, I had a person and I decided to venture out and he decided to venture out. I assure you something, it did not end well. It did not end.
A curious
Not for one
example.
person, not for 2 people, not for 3 people, but for like a whole crowd of people.
I'm currently
It ended
reading
badly.
a book. I don't know. I think it's there.
Remember, because some people are fighting for him, also some people are fighting for you. Some people.
All these were after.
No.
No, like remember how
Was it an open relationship?
society in-laws can be. You're in society, you have friends. Let me tell you, I was in mobs. People mind each other's business. Guys, people got dragged down the mud for no reason. It ended
who I
very
thought doesn't make you
badly.
happy. So you shouldn't pay attention really.
But that's not the reality. What that happens when people are drunk and they feel like they can.
I think
Excuse me, you're
what
stupid.
she's saying,
You're
what
very-
she's
I
saying
saw
is,
I heard what you said.
it's in the setting we are in. Like
Currently,
the ideas you
today.
guys give are very good.
Yes.
But I don't think the African society
It
has
has
evolved.
applying to
Has
that,
evolved
to understanding
to
those-
understand
yes.
like polyamory and things like
Uh-huh.
that.
Uh-huh.
Swinging,
Remember,
swingers.
but like I
The way
said-
people have swinger clubs where they exchange partners, like
People
married
come-
people
come
and
with-
come with their partners.
like a wife swap
and
also.
yes,
But
but
I think
I don't
that-
think we've yet
Okay,
gotten to that level.
To
yet.
answer that, right? There's a difference between sexual liberation, right, and polygamy, right? Polygamy.
But
is
that's
a-
what he
hold
said.
on.
Promiscuity. He
Yes.
said
Yes.
promiscuity.
Okay. What he said it
Yes.
correct, right?
Yeah.
Promiscuity is bad, right? Polygamy and polyamory may not, because these are full-blown relationships, right, with other people, right? But I feel like the problem in a Ugandan setting, right? You feel that every person you put your dick in or you give pussy to, right? You owe them a relationship, which may not necessarily be the case.
No.
No, let me tell you. By
That's
the
why
way,
we have so many
hold
one-night
on.
stands and...
Yes.
No, Ugandans. let me
It's
tell you.
normal, I think.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Ugandan society, I think they've
Gotten used
accepted
to
No,
it.
no,
it,
let's-
I
let me
think,
finish,
now,
right?
but
Ugandans will tell
really
you
feel right.
it is a one-night stand. And then they will translate a one-night stand into a one-month stand. And somewhere at the end of that 1 month, right? This person will know it is just sex, right? They may even know you're married with like 5 kids somewhere. But at the end of the 1 month, they'll be like, where are you putting your wife before me? Or where are you putting your boyfriend
But
before
now,
me?
let's
Those are
move to something
hormones.
that I wanted to add to your earlier submission.
Mm.
It's a quote from Kevin Spacey when he was playing Frank Underwood in the show, a TV show called
House of Cards.
House of Cards. He said, and I quote, "Everything is about sex,
Mm.
except sex.
Yeah,
Sex is about power." Now, I think I agree with the principle that sex is about power. People don't. Sex is never that simple. Mobutu Sese Seko
It's never simple.
was in the habit of allegedly consuming the wives of his generals
Yeah.
in a bid to
Calm them down.
to put them in their place, to remind them that he is above them, that
Wow.
he's head and shoulders above them, that he's not at their level. So people have been using sex for him. Actually, even when you see in these international war crimes where people crash a village and win and decide to rape the women also, it's not that these soldiers are very horny, but they want to what? To send a message to those women's husbands. In their heads, okay, they believe that for some reason they have humbled these guys to the lowest.
And they know.
Yeah.
You remember that series, The Dictator, where the guy would sit outside the door as the dictator's son is munching his wife in the room. And
Yeah,
the soldiers would point guns and tell him, now you listen.
Yeah, so
Because
human
they eat the
beings
woman.
will always have sex with other people for power reasons, for different power. Then
Yeah.
people have gone to war. You've heard the story of Mark Antony,
Cleopatra.
yes, and Cleopatra. So
She was so beautiful, her face launched 1,000 ships.
yeah. So for us to tie ourselves down and say it must be monogamy or this one,
And that's what I was getting to. You said I think you kind of contradict yourself
No,
there
I
because when you say yes, monogamy, this, then you say it like okay, this is what I think. No one person can be like 100% going to fulfill all your needs emotionally, physically, and intellectually even.
You can't do
But
that
when
for
you say
yourself.
monogamy like this,
strictly,
So
that
you're,
if you
Let
dare,
me
putting the
shock you.
burden on this person.
Is
So let me
is
shock
monogamy
you.
in terms of a relationship or in terms of sex?
That's the
Because
thing.
It's
no,
both.
No, hold on. I may not
because,
have a problem.
because monogamy envisions
That
two
you're going-
parties forever.
yes,
Two people
one
forever.
man,
See,
one woman.
Does
Yeah,
that- is
that's
that-
what we're saying.
One man,
I may
one
not
woman.
have a problem, right?
Mm.
Or you may not have a problem, right? With a woman coming to me for intellectual stimulation, right? And after she's stimulated intellectually, she comes back and gives you reverse cowgirl, right? But you may have a problem with me eating her, and then she comes and eats you, right?
Wow.
So is the monogamy you're envisioning in terms of only sexual monogamy, or this is the guy that I'm going to fuck for the rest
So
of my
this
life?
is
Or
why.
is it in terms of all this person's needs?
No, the monogamy we're discussing here is the idea of one man, one woman, with the
Forever.
exclusion of all others,
Yeah,
and
but-
forever, and that
Is
any
that sexually or in
any-
total?
Of course, it
Okay.
goes without saying.
So-
It goes without
saying,
saying.
yeah.
If we get married
It
in
follows
church with
naturally.
her,
Mm.
and she finds me having sex with another
No, sexually
woman,
yes, but if
it's
she
grounds
finds me
for
having,
divorce.
let's say I like, classics, right? Homer, the Iliad, all that rubbish, right? And she likes young, Wizkid, wadada, right? So there's already an intellectual mismatch, right?
Yeah, I've had
So will
people-
she be pissed if she finds me with someone else that likes Homer and the Iliad, right? But I'm not fucking them, or will she be like, okay, he's getting that?
No,
So-
I think the question we wanted to answer today is this: how important is this? That I must stay with only one woman, or you must stay with only one woman.
Yes, and that's
forever.
why we came
And
from
that,
the background
And so we
of
wondered,
Flavia.
does it go down from the
Yes.
background of Flavia?
Flavia and
That
Kabula.
does it
Flavia
mean?
was the
Does it
second
mean that
relationship.
now Kabula is a bad man?
Yes.
So, as I was saying, to sum up how I feel about it, be honest with yourself as a person. Be honest about what you like. Be honest about what you don't like. Be honest about whether you feel monogamy is for you. Because, like somebody said, make an informed decision. Know what monogamy entails. If you're going to try polyamory, is this something that's going to last? Is it make that informed decision. Know whether you want monogamy or other things. don't. This guy is asking sexually, what monogamy is monogamy, sexually, physically, emotionally, spiritually. It's one. Like you said, if you do not have a common goal, when the feelings boom, you're not gonna boom to other roller coasters.
Well, there's another perspective that is maybe we don't have the scientific means to quantify or qualify. There's a way society raises women, and there's a way society raises men or boys. And now in the modern society, it's a mess. That's all I can say. It's a mess. Because now kids, due to even like the lockdown, kids have access to smartphones. Now you can imagine a young child starting
like on Twitter.
Yes.
All these
First still Twitter. Twitter, you've gone too far. He has access to all this adult content at such a young age. You understand?
So his ideas of what?
Yes, of even of how it's it's all distorted.
Yeah? Most of it is from movies.
Yes, he's watching all this adult content.
Mills and books.
Watching all this adult content. Now, the girl, on the other hand, is reading these romance novels. You understand?
Hold on, there's a song.
She's reading Mills and Bones, what.
There's a song by Lupe Fiasco. The title is Beach Bad, right? And it covers that very scenario. It's a very interesting song. So the premise of the song is how boys and girls grow up, right? So the girl will sit and watch
Telemundo.
Yeah, okay, fine. She'll watch Telemundo, she'll watch rap videos and see, and she'll forget that these are paid actresses, right? And she'll see her mother, and the boy will see something else, right? And be like, oh, my mom is good to me, but then she goes under the shit. So there's that disconnect. So that by the time these two come together, right? They have grown up in totally separate worlds. And those two worlds are not entirely compatible. That is the
yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, we have these young boys and whatnot trying being exposed to a lot of this adult content, being feeding a lot of toxic stuff while growing up, and the girls are watching Indian soaps, watching Filipino soaps. By the way, it is.
Running in the red
it is. It is also. Yeah? You cannot expect Oswan with his hot belly to take off his shirt and play guitar for you. It's not as romantic. In your head, it sounds romantic. In the actual thing, it's actually disgusting. But so it has, like, on both ends. It's toxic on both ends, and so the boy believes he must play around. The girl believes amongst like unreal odds, you must also be with her. You understand?
Yeah, and her expectations of you.
When her father shoots you, you should come back tomorrow
exactly.
and be like, but I want to die for you. Yet in real life, when her father shoots you,
you should casually jump in front of the car.
Jump in front of the car to show that you love her. She expects these unreal gestures to show, to start thinking that, oh, he likes me, and the crazy kifugus who have no shame, who pull off such, will go around breaking so many.
The guys who are willing to tell those lies.
Yes.
I don't know why I've been doing this as this example. Yet I've confirmed I've been single all my life. That's surely.
So, single, like, you cannot commit to a relationship. Doesn't mean you have to give, not
insatiable appetite.
I'm looking for missing right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's that point. Like, it's why you see that's why monogamy is so hard. Like, this boy has grown up watching all this porn, raised up in watching all these music videos, listening to all these rap lyrics,
Which refer to the women.
All the trap lyrics.
You're such a so you see what it causes. Like, now you have to most people are channeled into the marriage angle by their parents.
Yeah, not necessarily because they want to.
Yes, by their parents. And also peer pressure, especially for the ladies now.
All my friends are married.
Yeah, I need to now.
And even in church, it's a problem.
Yes.
People outcast you because you're
let me tell you, be single. Embrace your singleness.
right.
What you do it, be like, me, I'm single. Find the old chat and I told her. Because there's no one who was supposed to.
We will give you closing remarks.
No.
As I was saying.
I don't know what some of the rules of the show are, but people are allowed to open the show They're horn.
This is not what okay, let me close and finish, right? Then let you. This is the advice. So my kid bro started dating recently. He's supposed to be in first year, I think. Lockdown and everything. But he started dating recently and he came to me and he said, so what do you know about relationships? And I told him, I've not been in one for some time. So I don't know how this thing. I don't know the dynamics. But I do believe, and this is the advice I will share with you, because I believe this way. Before you get into a relationship, know yourself as an individual. As Selomini, what do I like? What don't I dislike? What am I willing to tolerate? What will I not tolerate? What makes me happy? What am I willing to work with? Because if you ever make the mistake of not knowing yourself and you get into a relationship, right, you're going to damage both yourself and the other person. In ways that you may not see now and you may not sure if you can recover from. Because you may think in your head, and I see this happening a lot of time, you may think in your head, in your heart of hearts, you may really believe that I am a player who likes having sex and anything in a skirt I must eat because me bad guy, right? And you'll have the misfortune, and they say fate has a sense of humor. Other Christians say that God has a sense of humor. As we say, God has a sense of humor.
God is a God of variety.
Yeah, he may decide now you who nature who feels that everything in a skirt must be consumed. He will give you the one woman in your life and be like, now, but you love you. Yeah? You throw her anyway. And this woman will do everything and confuse you and mash you up. But because of what you've already told yourself about what relationships should be, you'll end up throwing away this chance. And now the curse in that is you will live the rest of your life comparing every other partner you have to her or to him. This is the curse there.
Are you an expert on psychology or these are just your
your
humble opinions?
It's true.
It's true.
It's true.
Right? Because the thing is this, right? It's actually how it works, because you meet a person, right, who has such an impact on you, right, that you feel like this is my new standard. And anyone that does not meet this standard, right, I should throw, right? And so if you don't know yourself and you don't understand how you like, all the things that really, because this person you may say, but I don't like, you've seen that shit of a guy who has been eating all the fine berries, he meets an ugly babe, but 8 years down the road he cannot get this ugly babe out of his head. She has done nothing special. All she did is that, by coincidence, right, she matched with who he actually was. A version of himself that he did not admit to himself, or he did not know existed. Right? So, know yourself, because you'll enter a relationship and you'll end up in all sorts of chaos.
Chogo.
I think that you could have
Your closing remarks had closing remarks, but what I'm saying is knowing yourself. Oswan knows himself. He is very promiscuous. I'm just saying. No, I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying. Okay, it's an example. Yeah, it's a metaphor. For example, yes, it is.
Can this be confused?
No.
I was just asking.
Responsible member of society.
Okay,
so, if you know yourself, as you've said, and you know that my libido is very high, you meet this girl, you connect on an intellectual level, maybe, on a personality level, but just that one thing. Do you believe that cannot? Do you believe you can tell this girl and she allows? Or you, as you said, you fix your problems on the side and come back?
It may not necessarily be a problem. You need to be honest, because if you're fucking this person, let's be honest. Okay, if you're sleeping with this person, right, or you're dating them, then the point of intimacy you're at, you should be able to have certain conversations with them. You should be able to tell you that these are the things I like about you, these are the things I don't like about you. No, listen, they like people.
So, Bonadine, am I correct in assuming that you think you want to meet a girl and tell her, yeah, I'm a very funny man, you will forgive me? I'm going to have 8 girlfriends.
No, listen, right?
Let's also let us operate realistically.
It also boils down on how you package this message. If I come and say, I'm a very funny man, you're going to forgive me, I need 8 girlfriends. Right?
Remember?
You need to repackage it in a smoother way, in a better way. Tell her that I feel like our libidos don't match.
I can say now an upcoming victim of husband battering.
So let me tell you, as a female species, you'd rather be direct. Do not leave room for her to interpret other things.
Yes, by the way, women are the masters of not women.
Very clear.
People are the masters of
compromise.
Not compromise. Interpreting things and running wild with them.
Yes.
You could say something and mean another. And because of your choice of words in narrating this, now things totally different.
Very, very clear. We women know how to say you put a skull there, so I look like a skull. I beg.
What? How does that?
No, like
I'm
they
just
can take things
telling
out
you
of
I'm
for-
just saying, yeah,
She's
they
just
can
demonstrating
yeah.
how people take
take
things
things
out.
out of context and run away with
I
it.
come and maybe you've invited me to your
Okay.
place and you've not taken time to clean. I'm like, hey, so you look at me as a dirty person. That's why you feel
Uh-huh.
like you get it.
Maybe I'm just.
It's just human nature.
It's-
You're not.
that's
people
what she's
are
saying.
not
Like, that's why
chill.
you have to be clear.
People are not
That's why
chill.
you have to be clear and say this. So guys,
What about Osman has brought up?
yeah, your closing remarks maybe.
I think in conclusion, really, if I really must conclude on this very simple, straightforward matter, is that there is no one size fits all.
Yeah.
Find your person and you negotiate your terms.
But now the people with a high libido,
And
how
also
are they going to
avoid dealing with that, assuming that your arrangement must be similar to the one of deal that he has with another.
Yeah.
Yours must also be, depending on the peculiar circumstances of each case.
Must be tailored.
If you have a high libido, it's
So,
also
so people with a high libido, do they have a hope in monogamy? For them,
No,
why does
no,
it?
no.
Why does it
no, there are options.
discriminate
There are
against
options.
them?
You can join Islam. You can join Islam. You
What
have your
the
four.
heck?
You have your 4 wives.
What if like that you can tell your wife
Okay.
to pretend to be a different woman? every
Or
day?
you can
Yes.
say,
Yeah, you can tell her now I need a new personality today.
She says, so I'm not enough.
So
I'm not enough.
So I tell you,
Tell her
I
maybe
know.
you're enough, but
no, but I have heard that there are arrangements that people can make in these things. People are engaged in swinging. What?
No, but
Uganda, we have not yet
what
reached
he's
that
talking
level.
about is honestly cool. It brings thrill to the relationship and also to the guy, so it kind of keeps him occupied. With high libido, I know somebody that has worked for them.
What
Today
does it-
she's dressed as a nurse, they meet here. The next day she's
Role
dressed
play.
as a
Well, I think also that is too much work.
Are they Uganda? Are they Uganda?
Very. They've
Yeah.
just had the opportunity to talk to people and try different things that work for the both of them. The chick also committed to paying attention to his needs and not condemning him for what he.
Does he also
It's
pay
not a
attention?
bad
Does she also
thing.
pay attention to her needs?
So let me tell you, a woman cannot do what a man is not giving.
What?
If you're not bringing something to the table, she's not going to bring it to the table.
Oh yeah.
You understand, eh?
The mere fact that she's putting in that effort means
she
it's
will
also
jump in. You get, she has understood his problem, so she's, if the guy is willing and ready, be like, you know what, you're my number one.
Which cool together must.
Yeah, and this person will actually put in the work to try things his way, because at the end of the day, you've understood where he's coming from, and if things go south, you try to understand, but at the end of the day, you try to do things, switch things up, go to Italy if you have the money. Yeah.
guys, our time is up, but I feel like we're just starting. There's so much we've just scratched the surface of, especially that point I was making about the way people are raised. But maybe that will be another episode on how the future generation is being raised. Otherwise, thank you guys for coming. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Thank you, Jasmine, for dismantling this boring manner. I've made it a all-man affair, but thank you for representing the
I think a female voice.
female voice and a unique perspective. You know, the godless heathens here have taken over. But
For the record, we are looking for God.
Amen.
The Christian God.
guys, meet next time.
For God.
Bye.